Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on, where you are in the world. This is Gloria White coming to you from Utah, USA. Today we will be in chapter 25 in the book of Proverbs in the Old Testament in the King James Version of the Holy Bible. Chapter 25. These are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. The heaven for height, the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Verse 4. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. Verse 5. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen. Verse 8. Go not forth hastily to strive, lest thou know not what to do in the end thereof, when thy neighbor hath put thee to shame. Verse 9. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another, or reveal a secret to another, lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thine infamy turn not away. Verse 11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pitchers of silver, and as an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. Verse 14. Whoso boasteth himself of a false gift is like clouds and wind without rain. By long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. Verse 16. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. Verse 17. Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee, and so hate thee. Verse 18. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul or a club, and a sword and a sharp arrow. Verse 19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Verse 20. As he taketh away a garment in cold, and as vinegar upon nitre, so is he that singeth songs to an heavy heart. Verse 21. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. Verse 22. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. I knew this verse. I just didn't remember where it was. So, if thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. That's Proverbs 25, verses 21 and 22. Verse 23. The north wind driveth away rain, so doth an angry countenance a backbiting tongue. Verse 24. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house. Verse 25. As cold waters to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. Verse 26. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. Verse 27. It is not good to eat much honey, for so for men to search their own glory is not glory. Verse 28. He that hath no rule over his spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. I tell you, there's another place in the Bible that it says about feeding your enemy and giving them water if they're thirsty. It's like heaping coals upon their head. By your goodness. you know and I think the other part of the Bible that says this message is like praying for your enemy is like heaping coals on their head, hot coals on their head. This one says, for thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. This is like what Jesus taught when he came. He said, don't repay your enemy with evil. Repay them with good. And as always, I love you.